This is Texans TV.
The schedule is out, and we're breaking it down for 2021.
That's exciting to know that we get to let everybody know exactly what we are and who we are.
Texans 360 begins now.
We are ready to rock in Houston. Rock and roll.
Oh, let's go!
Guess when you think you've seen it all, there's always something else.
Hey there, and welcome into Texans 360. We're so happy that you're with us. My name's Drew Dougherty. I'm your host, and we've got Cecil Shorts III, a former Texan, spent about a decade in the NFL, hanging with us today. It's going to be a fun one. You ready?
Absolutely.
I like the absolutely, because this guy, a little later, is going to throw a touchdown pass for us. Yes, I did say that. Plus, we're going to meet one of the newest Houston Texans, a draft pick. He and I are going to discuss the draft, but we start with some news of the week because the Texans and the rest of the NFL know what the schedule is going to be like for 2021. Cecil, what did you think when you saw what the Texans are going to do? They're opening up with the Jaguars here at home. It seems, on paper, knock wood, whatever you want to do, seems like the start to this season, not as brutal as you had last year when you opened with the Super Bowl champs. You went against a 14-win team the year before in the Ravens. Looks a little bit better, doesn't it?
The beginning's a lot better.
Yeah.
Last year it was just brutal. Chiefs, Ravens, Vikings, Steelers, I think in that order, and a couple of them on the road. So this year, a lot easier to start, but it's still going to be some challenges. You got 10, I think, playoff teams from the year before, or possibly in the contention this year. So it's going to be a little bang early on, or just throughout the year, but they should be all right.
Yeah, they're going to travel a little bit more than they traveled last year, which was minuscule. They didn't go west of the city of Houston last year. They got 2 West Coast trips, but nothing too crazy as far as travel goes. And we talked with the head coach of the Texans, David Culley. He would never talk about any of this stuff because he's just focused on winning. He doesn't want to worry about any extraneous factors. And he had some interesting ideas and interesting things to say about the 2021 slate. Here's a part of the conversation I had with him on Wednesday. It's finally here. You know what the schedule is. When you looked at it for the first time, what was your first impression?
Well, my first impression was I saw that a division opponent was first, which when we talk about going into the new year, or you sitting down talking with your team about the next year, the first thing you always want to say is one of your goals is to first win the division. Well, we get to play our first game and we're playing a division opponent. That's exciting to know that we get to start off early and let everybody know exactly what we are and who we are right away in the division. And that's what was exciting.
No doubt. And most likely it's going to be with a quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, who's the #1 overall pick. What's it like when you face a rookie quarterback?
Well, the way we look at it, Drew, is this, it doesn't matter to us who that quarterback is. We're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, or we're playing whoever it is. We're trying to win the football game against that opponent.
Okay, the one primetime game, week 3, it's at home. How beneficial is that? What do you think of primetime, and what do you think of where it is in the schedule?
Well, the thing about primetime is that when we play a game for our players, you know that you're the game. Everybody in the league is watching. There's something special about that, whether it's Monday, Thursday, Sunday night, whenever it may be. As a player, from what I've gathered through this league and been around guys, is that there is something about, okay, I want to make sure I got my A game tonight. Joe's looking at me tonight, and he's going to call me after the game and going to talk to me about certain things, and I want to make sure that when I do, I tell him that, hey, I took care of my business tonight.
You got 3 in a row at home, basically right after the bye. So you got the roadie right after the bye, but you got 3 in a row right then. That's a good time to stack some wins, perhaps, and good to get things back going at home at NRG Stadium, isn't it?
What makes me feel good about that is that I know that in the past, and I know it's going to continue to be that way, is NRG Stadium is a home field advantage. And that's always good to know that we're going to be playing at home for 3 games in a row, and we know that's their advantage because of our fans, because of this stadium, and because of what it's been in the past, and hopefully we're going to continue to keep it that way.
All right, tell me about how the last few weeks have gone, how much of an exciting time it's been for you, getting to interact with your coaches, with your players, seeing the learning, seeing the teaching process take place.
Well, during phase 1, once the offseason program started, and we started our Zoom meetings. It was good to sit in and listen to our coaches during the Zoom meeting with our players. We felt like you were back into football again. You're hearing all those football terms. You know when that happens, you're starting to get close to a point of where we can actually start to see our guys in person. So I can't wait to see those guys as a Texan and just say, hey, look, now this is what the Texans all about, and this is what we've been looking to get you to be able to do.
Best of luck in 2021. We can't wait to see it go.
Thank you, Drew. Looking forward to it.
Good to hear from the head coach. All right, what were your takeaways from the schedule as far as when you played? How big a deal was it when you were a veteran, when you were a rookie, when you saw who you were going to play the next season? Did it even matter?
It didn't matter. You always look for the primetime games. You always look for the bye week. When's their time to get to rest and be with family? But you see who you get to play. And in certain years, there's certain divisions you get to play. I think this year is the NFC West and the AFC East, and then a few other teams sprinkled in there. You always want to go against good competition. And this year, they got a lot of good competition. And it's interesting because this year, I feel like it's a lot of good young quarterbacks they might face this year, or veteran quarterbacks like Russell Wilson.
No doubt. You know, 4 of the teams they played drafted a rookie quarterback. Yeah. And you and I were talking off camera about the bye week being where it is. Before the bye, you have a road game. After the bye, you have a road game. So that's kind of nice. It splits up what would have been a back-to-back. And then you get that first road game out of the way. You play 4 or 5 of your next, remaining games in NRG Stadium. That's beneficial.
That is huge. After the bye week, to be able to wind the season down, hopefully go for a playoff run, but playing at home is huge when you get to have the end of the year stretch.
No doubt. All right, this weekend, the rookies going to be in town. They got the rookie minicamp, which is a big deal. They learn a new language if you listen to what GM Nick Caserio was saying, and there's a lot of enthusiasm if you listen to what Coach Culley has said. Where on the importance scale does this weekend rank for these guys?
Oh, man, it's at the top right now because this is the first time they get to impress the coaches that they're coming here, especially for the undrafted guys that didn't get the opportunity to get drafted. It's the time to make the team, open some eyes up, figure out where I fit in, where I need to work on. And for the coaches, it's huge because now you get to talk that language to them. You get to show them the playbooks. You get to show them how to be a pro, introduce them to the NFL. So it's huge for these guys to have a big impression this weekend.
Yeah, it's really interesting because it's a smaller class. 5 guys were drafted. And because you had kind of plumped up that roster beforehand, not as many undrafted rookie free agents, but you're going to have players throughout the rest of the roster who are still young and can qualify for that. So really a mixed bag, more so than in years past for this one.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think even HaHa Dix is coming in to help with that, and I think that would be huge for him to get reps on the field, but also to help the young guys, help the younger DBs, younger defense, even the offense, to give them a good look. But anytime you get a chance to go out there and practice in front of the coaches, and then think about it, last year we didn't get this.
That's right.
Last year this was limited, so this is huge for the coaches to be able to pour into the guys early and get them guys going, and hopefully get them up to speed as quick as possible.
No doubt, it's a lot of the basics, and I don't think we'll see any wide receiver passes to a running back, which is what you're going to see when Texans 360 returns. Don't you move a muscle.
Today we're at Station 55. They were recognized by the Houston Texans and Mr. and Mrs. McNair and brought out a jersey, Station 55 jersey, and they're also bringing them lunch. But it's in recognition of their service to the community throughout whatever situations we're dealing with.
One of their chief operators sent us an email saying they had a new station here and they would love to have a Texan jersey. We're glad to come here and present them with a jersey with 55 on it to match their station.
To me, our first responders are our heroes. So, I get a little starstruck when I see them because I know that they just have no fear. They're fearless, and we're just so thankful that we can do a little bit of something to say thank you.
We're so proud of what you guys do for the city and for the state. I'm glad y'all are fans, and I want to present you with this jersey. It's appropriate that we have an International Firefighters Day, and no other place we'd rather be than right here at Station 55 to celebrate that.
To be recognized for doing what we love to do is just like icing on the cake. To have that jersey hanging in the station with 55 on it, it's a lift in the day, in a year where there haven't been many highs. It did bring a high note to this station.
How about that, the McNair family and this guy at the fire station this week. Cecil Shorts III, Texans 360 here in the Ford Studios. That was pretty fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good time, man, to pour into the firefighters that probably don't get a lot of recognition on a daily basis, and to learn more about what they do is incredible. So thank you to them.
Yeah, very, very cool stuff. And speaking of fires, this guy was on fire back in 2015. Tell me very briefly before we get into this awesome film room breakdown, what was the reaction in the huddle when you get the call for this play that we're about to see?
We knew it was coming. We practiced it all week, and it was a play where I think the couple plays before I got the ball and made some good plays. And then, of course, I think the OC at the time was George Dougherty, and we were hot. So he was like, let's just go for it. We called it. Everybody was ready, and then ended up working for us. So it was
Check
cool.
it out. Watch this. Cecil Shorts throwing touchdowns. 2015 was a bananas season for the Texans. It was the first playoff season for Bill O'Brien, and at one point, this team was 3 games under 500 about halfway through the year. In the middle of the win streak and kind of the climb back, it was mid-third quarter. You're locked up 10 apiece at home against the Jets. TJ Yates is your quarterback, and you've got an interesting setup on offense, and you have some razzle-dazzle. We love trick plays.
Yes.
So let's talk about this one.
Doesn't love trick plays? And who doesn't love the NFL being a copycat league? Because that's exactly what this was. The year before, at the end of the year in 2014, the Jacksonville Jaguars came to Houston, and on the, I think it was third or fourth quarter, Cecil Shorts threw a touchdown pass on a very similar looking play. Well, at least that's what I thought. I remember seeing this when this happened and thought, that looks very similar. Offensive coordinator at the time, George Dougherty, said, oh yeah, that's the exact same play. And it was the exact same guy throwing it in Cecil Shorts. And it's fantastic. It's a double pass. And you'll see Cecil he lines up there inside the numbers, and then he goes out. And they're trying to get a read on what coverage, but they just want to get him out here where he can then step back.
He's out on Revis Island there.
He's out on Revis Island for just a little bit. And you see how that throw is backwards. That throw is backwards to make sure that you can throw it twice. Fedorowicz is clearing out over here, so he's just taking anybody that's just not paying attention. They see Fedorowicz going, and you'll see Cromartie over here just kind of hanging out. When he sees that pass, he knows, oh, he's going to throw it. He's thinking he's throwing it to Fedorowicz. So he just takes off like, oh, I got to go. All the while, Alfred Blue just acting like he's doing nothing back over here. Just like right here, he's just acting like, I'm just hanging out watching this, and then takes off right down the seam, wide open. And Cecil just hits him right in stride. Place went crazy. It was a tremendous play for the Texans to pull out at this point. And you hear it see it from this side, Cecil making the great toss. Look at that, just right on cue. Alfred Blue flying like a jet, and the Texans will go on and win this ball game and keep that winning streak going.
Yeah, they'd go to the playoffs. So that was one of the key plays of that season, really helped turn the tide. After a quick break, the offense added a few weapons in the draft. Cecil Shorts and I discuss. This is Texans 360.
Houston Texans select Davis Mills, QB from Stanford.
We are back, and we're thankful that you're still with us. Drew Dougherty, Cecil Shorts III, Texans 360. You and I haven't chit-chatted about the draft in a while, and the Texans go heavy on offense early. What'd you think of those first 3 picks when you saw they made them?
I actually liked him. I think Davis Mills is a guy that will be considered next year as a first-round pick. So if you can get him in early and kind of build him how you want to build him. Pep Hamilton does a great job with young quarterbacks, so to get his hands on him early. Let's see what happens with that. And then Nico Collins, somebody I think I am falling in love with the more film I watch him.
Really?
He's a guy that was 230 at Michigan, slimmed down to 215 because he opted out last year. But in the Senior Bowl, watching film there, he made some really nice plays. That guy that's probably the tallest receiver on the roster by far, 6'4", can go up and get the ball, can be a huge red zone threat. It's a really good job with contested catches, and I think that's something you're missing with this receiving core. You got speed, you got guys that can move, agility inside, but you're missing that piece outside. I think can really help us, especially since the departure of DeAndre Hopkins. And then Brevin Jordan from Miami. He's a guy that kind of fits the mold of today's tight end, right? Can move, can make plays outside. You can put him in the slot. So those three guys, to me, show a lot of potential. And I'm excited for them to start this weekend and see what they do during the season. You know,
we heard from Mills as we started this segment. And listen, I'm not saying he is this guy, but when you watch him play, as far as he throws, moves, in the pocket, out of the pocket, he reminds me, the way he moves, strictly, of a skinnier Andrew Luck. Now listen, Stratford Spartans, Stanford Cardinal, Indianapolis Colts fans, chill. I'm just saying he kind of reminds me of him, and that's something that you would expect from a guy who played under Shaw. Worked with Luck in the off seasons at times. Davis Mills kind of looks like him, doesn't he?
I mean, his posture in the pocket, the way he moves, how he throws, everything. You can tell, I mean, to me, that's smart. You modeling your game after a guy that was very successful. Obviously, #1 overall pick a few years ago. So I don't have a problem with that, and I totally agree with it. You can see if you watch him, just everything in the pocket, everything moving-wise, is very similar to how Andrew does. I'm not saying he's as good. I'm not saying he is Andrew Luck. Just saying the similarities are there. It is smart, in my opinion. You watch film on a guy that's very successful, you're trying to learn from him, it's good.
Good stuff. All right, he talked about Nico Collins a moment ago. After this break, you're going to get more Nico Collins. Stick with us. This is Texans 360.
Reliant and the Houston Texans came up with a scholarship. They honor 6 students from the Houston area for their academic, their sports, and their community work, and they give them $10,000 towards their college education. So Reliant and the Houston Texans always do a great job of being in the community, but they did an exceptional job this time of picking these superior student athletes today.
Really what this does is it gives these students a chance to be able to go to college and help reduce the expensive college. So if you think about it, $10,000, that's a lot of money that can go towards tuition or books or supplies or housing or whatever it is that they may need, and it really helps them to be able to prepare for their future. Somebody from their school nominated the students, and then we have a panel who looks at everything and then ranks everybody, and then the 6 students are picked.
And to be able to give them that check today and be a part of the celebration for them, it's a huge thing, man. It warmed my heart, and I'm really excited to see what they can do for the future of this world.
They're now getting to enjoy a great field day event, safely distanced, and of course all the precautions being followed, but getting to have some fun with their family and friends that they brought with them.
Once I got here and realized where I was like, there's no way that I'm just coming up here for an interview. There's not a lot of words that I can say. I'm so excited right now, I can't even think straight. All I can say is thank you, and I appreciate you so much.
Texans 360, Drew and Cecil, earlier you talked about Nico Collins, and you really, really like his potential, his ceiling, don't you?
Yes, I think he's not only just a big guy, to me, opting out and losing those 15 pounds showed me work ethic, right? And you watch the film at University of Michigan, great job of going up and getting the ball, great job of making plays on the deep passes. But what I love is the ability, the possibility of putting him inside in the slot. Having Brandon Cooks outside, move him inside, finding mismatches in the seam areas, going against small, because normally the nickel guys are the smaller DBs, more quicker, but you can find a mismatch and go up and get the ball and make a play. He does a great job of having contested catches. So I see what the Texans saw in him and going up and getting him, so I'm excited for him.
You're excited. He was excited when he got picked. Here's a little bit of his interview with Texans Radio.
Nico, Mark Vandermeer, John Harris, and Clint Sterner, welcome to Houston. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Doing very well. So what was your reaction when the Texans moved up with a trade and selected you? Did you have any idea this kind of thing could happen tonight?
I did not at all, man. I had no clue. I was just waiting for that phone call, waiting for my name to be called, man. This is a dream I've been having my entire life, and it happened today. And, it's a lot of emotions running through, so if I sound like a throat a little tight. But I'm just, I just been enjoying the process, man, and I'm blessed for sure. I'm glad the Texans believed in me and they selected me, and, I will make them proud.
I know you know what I'm asking you right here, but how excited and anxious are you to get back on the football field?
Yeah, I'm so excited, because I opted out my 2020 year, man. It's been a minute since I played football, and I'm itching. I'm ready to come in there, man, and work. I'm hungry. Get to work, man, and just work on my game. Just be an impact for this football team and this organization.
Other than the 6'4", 220 that we can read, we can see on paper, tell us what you bring to the table, man. What are you all about?
Man, I'm bringing a guy, man. I'm physical, play big, man. As a competitive, man, I love the game of football. Man, I'm reliable. I'm a team player. I love my teammates, man. I do whatever for the team. I'm coming in with to win, and going out there to battle on the football field, man. My teammates.
Being from Alabama, how hard was it to decide to go play college football at Michigan when you had so many other options?
It was pretty hard, man. That was an opportunity, man. I was blessed to have, being highly recruited coming out of high school, man, and just having different options and full rides to go to play school, man. That was a hard decision too, because it was a lot of schools never thought, they'll be wanting me to come play for them, but it was a hard, decision to go to Michigan, man. That was 10 hours away. It was hard, for my family to come to the games, but they did what they did. They come whenever they can. I don't regret committing to the University of Michigan at all, man. I feel like that was the best decision of my life.
Nico, you'll be reunited in some sense with a coach that was with you and you spent some time with at Michigan and Pep Hamilton. What does he mean to you and what has he meant to your development as a football player?
Man, a lot, man. Coach Pep, he recruited me coming out of high school, man, and he showed he was really invested in me, man. He was willing to do whatever to make me a better football player on the football field. He showed me that he was willing to do whatever. He cared. So to come back, to play for the Houston Texans, to get the coaching by him, man, it's a great feeling. I'm blessed for that, man. So I'm just ready to get to work, man, and soak up some more coaching, man, and whatever he got. He never told me yet. I'm ready to soak it in and learn from it, man. Picking his brain as I can.
Nico, have you ever? I know you've heard a lot about Houston because we got a great city down here. Have you ever been down here? If not, when are you coming?
I haven't. No, I haven't. I haven't been down. I've never been to Houston. I haven't at all. Never been to the state, but I'm just waiting for the team to let me know whenever I can come. Due to COVID, things like that. I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm just waiting on him. To let me know when it's time for me to come to the facility. Get to work.
Nico, thanks so much for joining us, and congratulations for being drafted by the Houston Texans. All right, we'll see you soon.
We're all out of time for this week's show. Appreciate you watching. We appreciate you, Cecil Shorts III, coming on this program. You going to do it again?
Yes, always fun with you, Drew.
I like it. All right, have a good one. Until next time, go Texans. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to know when we post new content.